Did I make the choice or did somebody else make the choice? And we end up in this kind of mental battle, not knowing how to solve that puzzle. Who is doing it? The word hukam needs to be understood. Most people think that it is either our free will or it is God's will, or it is pre-written. So if we do an exercise like I wake up in the morning and I have a choice whether to make myself a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, and I make a cup of tea, was that pre-written? Was that hukam? Did I make the choice or did somebody else make the choice? And we end up in this kind of mental battle, not knowing how to solve that puzzle. Who is doing it? The simple answer is you and the universe are already one. The universe is acting through you. The universe is not doing things to you, it's doing things through you. And so there is no question of something being pre-written. How can every decision be pre-made? Like there's a book written with everybody's story, and everybody's story has already been written out. And we're simply here to act out the play that's already been written for us. But you will not know this until you begin to experience who you are. If you believe yourself to be the individual, then believe in your own free will and make good choices. Make the right choices. Make the choices that serve your highest purpose. The reality is that eventually you will come to realize that there is no free will. In the same way that we can very easily demonstrate that there is no free thoughts. You have no ability to create your own thoughts. Thoughts are simply like fireworks, they appear. If you have the ability to choose, then the question is, what is your next thought? And it's very easy to demonstrate that you have no idea what your next thought is going to be. Thoughts appear. Decisions appear. The problem is not, did I make the decision of my own free will? The problem is, can I be happy with every decision that's been made? Most of the time, we then go back and look at those decisions, say, why did I do it? I shouldn't have done this, I shouldn't have done that. That should have happened, that shouldn't have happened to me. The reality is, at that moment in time, that was the thought that occurred. That was the decision that presented itself based on all the knowledge that you had gathered up till that point. That was the decision that came out. Can you now live with that decision? And when a new opportunity arises to create a new thought, can you be comfortable that everything that has led you to that moment will bring the only answer it can bring? The truth is, if you relive the same decision 500 times, you will have made the same choice those same 500 times. Because you know nothing more. All you know is everything that you've experienced up till that moment. The only choice that can occur at that moment is the one that's going to occur at that moment. The same decision 5 minutes later might come up with a different answer, but that's not the same one. That's a different choice. So you have to now trust in whatever the universe is going to do. But that doesn't mean that we don't learn from our previous choices. The previous thoughts that came up may not serve your highest purpose, may not be the best for you. Otherwise, you could become completely lazy and say, well, I've got this addiction and I really want to give it up, but the thoughts, the addictive thoughts keep coming back and I keep just doing them. then at what point do you actually step in and say, this is no longer serving me? The confusing answer is, even that choice will come when it is right for you. It's not a simple subject. But you start to, the simplest way to begin to deal with hukam is to have a moment of just taking a step back and saying, I trust the decision that's going to come. I trust that the universe is going to do whatever it's going to do. Not the right decision. Be very clear on this. I don't trust that the universe is going to do the right thing right now. The universe will do whatever the universe is going to do. The thought that's going to come is going to come. The decision that's going to come is going to be the only decision. I have no say in the matter. And when you can be comfortable with that, the decision-making process of the mind, based on all the things that the universe has done to you, through you, in that moment, then you resign to the idea that you have any control. And you sit back and say, okay, mind, let's see what you're going to do next.